a nuestro set aquí en CAF en el marco del Foro Internacional de América Latina y el Caribe 2026. Y a esta hora me acompaña Goldy Hyder, él es presidente y CEO del Business Council of Canada. Mr. Hyder, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
How do you see these types of forums or events can reconcile or make our hemisphere more united? How are you seeing from Canada our hemisphere?
Well, look, I think President Molina said it best. We're family. We live in the same hemisphere. We've got to find a way to work together. We've got to find a way to address the issues that are common from all across our continent in terms of where's economic growth going to come from? How are we going to create opportunities? How will we address the issues of poverty and sort of the structural issues that we face in our environment? What can we do to make sure that we're attracting capital? Because the thing about capital, I always tell people, take a look at your dollar bill carefully. There's no heart on it. It doesn't matter. It has no emotion. It goes to where it feels a dollar can become two. So we've got to make this region attractive. I heard other presidents speak about sort of like the complementary nature of our economies, the best practices that we can learn from each other. Take Canada, for example. I think we're a trusted partner around the world. We're seen as someone who cares about the environment, someone who believes on social responsibility, someone who believes that we're here to do the right thing. And I think that can go a long ways. We can learn from each other. So it's a real opportunity. There's a momentum here that I hope we seize.
How is Canada and business and finance seeing our region from Canada? How is our region being seen?
Well, look, one of the challenges for Canada has been, in some ways, we won this geographic lottery. We've got 4 best neighbors in the world, 3 oceans, and the United States of America with the G1 economy. That kind of made us complacent for a while. Now, thanks to President Trump, quite frankly, we've awoken. We've awoken to the opportunities, the need for diversification, the need for more investment, but also taking Canadian business out. So our message on the Canadian business side has been, let's start at home. Let's start in our own hemisphere. We've got this great relationship with Mexico, but we have trade agreements with Panama and Colombia and Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. We can do more, and we can do more together. I think the main spirit of this event, to your credit and the organizers' credit, is one of partnership. One of working together to help each other in ways in which there's things your labor here is very hard working, but you need the skills. You need the infrastructure for digitization to happen. AI is going to have its impact here as well. Canada can do some really great things there in addition to our traditional areas of natural resources and financial services.
You're saying an important thing, let's do it together. Canada has been a long, important investor in Latin America, particularly in sectors like mining, energy and finance. Why does Latin America matter today for Canadian business, for example, or for Canada's economic strategy? For all Latin Americans that are hearing you right now, what can we do? Why it's important? Yeah. What can we do better?
Well, look, as I said, I think, when you choose your partners, you choose carefully and you choose those that you can trust, you choose those that are reliable, but you also choose those that have a good track record. And I would say no one's perfect. Everybody's made mistakes in our lives, whether it's individuals or countries or companies, but we strive to do good. We strive to do the right thing. And so if you're going to be growing your economy, you want someone who's not going to be in and out. You want someone who's committed to the region, who sees the value of being a partner and a long-term partner. And what we ask for in return from governments, because we're in democracies here, is we need predictability, we need stability, we need to be able to deploy our capital with confidence that every election is not going to create wide swings in terms of public policy, because when we deploy capital, we do it with 30, 40, 50-year horizon. We don't do it for a 3, 4-year or 6-year horizon. And so we need to work on that as democracies, because as I said, capital will go to the path of least resistance and where it's most welcome. We want that to be here in our own continent.
What would you say are the main opportunities of this region?
Take your pick, when it's energy, whether it's agri-food, whether it's the infrastructure needs that you have, whether it's the skilling opportunities, whether it's the renewable transition, whether it's on skills development and labor, education. There's so many areas in which we can work together and add value to each other. And I think that what matters now is people are everyone here all the leaders spoke about the people.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got to show, we can't just tell them. We have to show them We can't just say to them one day. They want results. They want to feel the benefits of being in a democracy, the benefits of attracting capital and creating growth. What everyone is struggling with, including here, but also in Canada, is where will growth come from? And growth comes from predictable, stable, tax, regulatory, investment climates. If you offer that, capital will come. If you don't, capital will go somewhere else, and it doesn't matter whether it's a democracy or it's a communist country like Vietnam. It will go where it can get the return. And so we need to make sure we keep that investment, as much of it as possible here, so we can help elevate our continent to compete with Asia, with Europe, with Africa and others, because that's kind of how the world is playing out right now.
And what you're telling me sometimes it's hard in countries of Latin America or South America where you change governments and you don't know
what... We do in Canada too, by the way. It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Will you say that is one of the main barriers?
Well, for the capital climate that we need, yes. That's not, because look, CEOs may be Democrats at heart. They believe in democracy, not as in the party Democrats, to be clear, but democracy, okay? But the shareholders say, I want the best return for my investment. And that means going to the path of least resistance to deploy your capital to generate return as quickly as possible. If we make it 20 years to get a permit on a mine, there's other places that will say, come here, we'll do it faster. We'll do it responsibly, because Canadian companies do not want to cut corners. We have a brand that we care about. We want to be seen as reliable, dependable, and those who have traveled abroad, even if they've made mistakes, they are out to correct them. They're not out to abandon and leave your partner. We're working hard on that front. And so I think the opportunity to really see the complementary nature, what you need, we have, what you have, we need. So let's work together and figuring out how to advance the whole continent.
How an institution like CAF, as a Banco de Desarrollo de América Latina, can help or can push all of what you're saying? Why is CAF so important, or multilaterals so important in this process?
Well, look, first of all, congratulations. I mean, this is the second year. You've really taken it to another level from what I understand. Just 8 days ago, I wasn't planning on being here. And yet, when I saw the agenda and I saw the program and had an opportunity to participate,
I have to be here.
I have to be here. So we've adjusted to be here. And it's also an awareness that when the United States is changing, we change with it, all of us. And so what is not just Republicans, by the way, we all want to put it on President Trump. President Trump is not alone in saying, I want my hemisphere back. The Democrats say the exact same thing because they were distracted for 20, 30 years, obviously after 2001. Now they're saying, well, what happened here? We're not going to let this go away to anybody. This is our home. This is our backyard. We want democracy to thrive. We want the economies to thrive. But we all know that requires capital injection, and it requires the trade-enabling infrastructure. The Panama Canal is a great example. You're thinking about putting an LNG pipeline down the side there. Excellent. Canadians build LNG pipelines all the time. We're doing it in Mexico. We're doing it in other parts of the world. Let's work together to figure out how to do that responsibly, but also let's make sure that the benefits are reaching the people that they're supposed to reach. And it starts with employment, making sure they have the jobs that they need so that they can go about their life, plan for their family, plan for their holiday, plan for their savings. People aren't asking for much, but what they're saying is the gap is growing, and please address that. And if we don't address it, we will get more populism in our politics, and that sets us back even further. So we need to solve these problems together.
Mr. Hyder, thank you for being here with us in CAF. Welcome to Panama.
Thank you for having me.
I hope to see you next year.
I look forward to being back. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.